Good morning. Today we will discuss regarding material transport systems. Material transport equipment commonly used to move parts and other materials in manufacturing and warehouse facilities. These equipments are: first is industrial trucks, second automated guided vehicles, third monorails and other rail guided vehicles, fourth is conveyors, and fifth cranes and hoist. First is industrial trucks. So industrial trucks are divided into two categories. First is non-powered trucks and second is powered trucks. The non-powered types are the hand trucks because they are pushed or pulled by human workers. So quantity of the material moved and the distances traveled are relatively low when using these equipments. So hand trucks are classified as either two wheel or multiple wheel. So two wheel hand truck that is shown in a figure in the next slide are generally easier to manipulate the worker but are limited to lighter loads. Multiple wheel hand trucks are available in several types and sizes. So this is the first diagram, that is a non-powered industrial trucks, that is hand trucks. So it is a two-wheel hand trucks. So it is operated by the worker. Now next we will see the multiple wheel trucks. So multiple wheel trucks are dollies and pallet trucks. So dollies are simple frames and platforms that is shown in the next figure. Various wheel configurations are possible, including fixed wheels and caster type wheels. So it is a four-wheel dolly. It is a non-powered industrial trucks, that is in the category of hand trucks. So it is a four-wheel, or you can say it is a multiple wheel trucks. So pallet trucks have two forks that can be inserted through the openings in a pallet. A lift mechanism is actuated by the worker to lift and lower the pallet off the ground using small diameter wheels near the end of the forks. In operation, the worker inserts the forks into the pallet, elevates the load, pulls the truck to its destination, lowers the pallet, and removes the forks. So it is a complete manual operation. So it is in the category of non-powered trucks. So you can see the diagram. Example of non-powered industrial trucks, that is in the category of hand trucks. It is hand operated low lift pallet truck. Then next type of the industrial truck is powered trucks. So they are self-operated to relieve the worker to move the truck manually. So it is powered operated. Three common types are used in factories and warehouses. First is walkie trucks, second is forklift rider trucks, and third is towing tractors. So first it is walkie trucks. So figure 2A that is shown in the next slide are battery powered vehicles equipped with wheeled forks for insertion into the pallet openings, but with no provision for a worker to ride on the vehicle. The truck is steered by a worker using a control handle at the front of the vehicle. The forward speed of a walking truck is limited to around 3 miles per hour, that is 5 kilometers per hour, which is about equal to the normal walking speed of a human. So the truck is steered by a worker using a control handle at the front of the vehicle, and there is a no provision for sitting on the vehicle for the operator. So that is shown in this slide. That is a walkie truck. So it is in the category of power trucks. Then next is forklift rider trucks. So there is a sitting provision for an operator on a vehicle to drive the vehicle. Load carrying capacity from about 450 kg up to more than 4500 kg. So power sources for forklift trucks are either internal combustion engines or electric motors, or it is battery operated. So you can see there is a sitting arrangement that is for the operator, and it is a forklift truck. Then next type of the power truck is industrial towing tractors. So they are designed to pull one or more trailing carts in factories and warehouses. They are generally used for moving large amount of materials between major collection and distribution areas. Power is supplied from either internal combustion engines or electric motor, that is battery operated. So you can see the next category, that is industrial towing tractors. So this is a diagram shown in this slide. That is the third category or the third type of the power trucks, that is towing or industrial towing tractors. The next type of material transport equipment is automated guided vehicle systems, that is AGVS. An automated guided vehicle system is a material handling system that uses independently operated self-propelled vehicles that are guided along defined pathways in the floor. The vehicles are powered by means of non-board batteries that allow operation for several hours. Generally, it is 8 to 16 hours between recharging. The definition of the pathways is generally accomplished using wires embedded in the floor or reflective paint on the floor surface. So guidance is achieved by the sensors on the vehicles that can follow the guide wires or paint. An AGVS is appropriate where different materials are moved from various load points to various unload points. AGVS is therefore suitable for automating material handling in batch production and mixed model production. So advances in AGVS technology have been motivated largely by rapid developments in electronics and computer technologies. Automated guided vehicles can be divided into three categories. First category is driverless trains, second is pallet trucks, and third is unit load carriers. So the first category, that is driverless trains. A driverless train consists of a towing vehicle, that is automated guided vehicle, pulling one or more trailers to form a train. It was the first type of AGVS to be introduced and is still widely used today. So this is a diagram of the driverless automated guided train. It is used to move heavy loads over long distances in warehouses or factories with or without intermediate pickup and drop off points along the route. You can see the diagram, the cars that are attached to the towing vehicle. So you can see the another diagram, that is the driverless trains that are used in a industry. So it is independently operated and self-propelled vehicles. So these are guided by the sensors on the vehicles that can follow the guide wires or the paint. Second is automated guided pallet trucks. So they are used to move palletized loads along predetermined routes. The human worker, after loading the pallet by using forks and elevates the load slightly, drives the pallet truck to the guide path. After program is after program its destination, the vehicle proceeds automatically to the destination for unloading. The capacity of AGVS pallet trucks ranges up to several thousand kilograms. More recent forklift AGV can achieve significant vertical movement of its fork to reach loads on racks and shelves. So this is a diagram of automated guided pallet trucks. So in the diagram you can see there is a drive wheel, then there is a platform for human operator and the forks that can be inserted into the pallets, and you can move that pallet from one position to another position on a defined or the predetermined routes. So you can see the diagram of automated guided pallet trucks that are used in a industry. Then next is AGV load unit carriers. That is the third type of automated guided vehicle systems. So AGV unit load carriers are used to move unit loads from one station to another. They are often equipped for automatic loading and unloading of pallets by means of powered rollers, moving belts, mechanized lift platforms, or other devices built into vehicle deck. A typical unit load AGV is shown in a diagram that is in a next slide. So variations of unit load carriers include light load AGVS and assembly line AGVS. Light load AGVS are designed to move small loads, that is single parts, small baskets, through plants. An assembly line AGV is designed to carry a partially completed sub-assembly through a sequence of assembly workstations to build a product. So you can see the diagram of unit load carriers. So there is a roller deck for side loading, and there is a drive wheels that are shown for the unit load carrier. So it does not require the same large axle width as a conventional AGV. So light load guided vehicles are designed to move small loads, that is single parts, small baskets and tote pans of the parts through plants of limited size engaged in light manufacturing. And in assembly line AGV is designed to carry a partially completed sub-assembly through a sequence of sub-assembly workstations to build a product. So this is a unit load carrier, and this is a diagram of unit load carrier that is used in a industry to move the load, to move the unit load from one station to another. Now the vehicle guidance technology. So the technology that is used in a automated guided vehicle system. The guidance system is the method by which AGV's pathways are defined and vehicles are controlled to follow the pathways. So there are three technologies that are used in a commercial systems for vehicle guidance. First is embedded guide wires, then paint strips and self-guided vehicles. So first is embedded guide wires and paint strips. In the embedded guide wire method, electrical wires are placed in a small channel cut into the surface of the floor. The channel is typically 3 to 12 mm wide and 13 to 26 mm deep. After the guide wire is installed, the channel is filled with cement to eliminate the discontinuity in the floor surface. The guide wire is connected to a frequency generator which emits a low voltage, low current signal with a frequency in the range of 1 to 15 kilohertz. So this induces a magnetic field along the pathway that can be followed by sensors on board each vehicle. So operation of typical system is shown in a next slide or in a figure number 4. Two sensors or the coils are mounted on the vehicle on either side of the guide wire. When the vehicle is located such that the guide wire is directly between the two coils, the intensity of the magnetic field is measured by each coil will be equal. So this is a diagram of the onboard sensor system that uses two coils to track the magnetic field in the guide wire. If the vehicle strays to one side or the other, or if the guide wire path changes direction, the magnetic field intensity at the two sensors will be different. And this difference is used to control the steering motor, which makes the required changes in vehicle direction to equalize the two sensor signals, thereby tracking the guide wire. Now the second type, that is the paint strips. When paint strips are used to define the pathway, the vehicle uses an optical sensor system capable of tracking the paint. The strips can be tape, sprayed or painted on the floor. So one system uses one in wide paint strip containing fluorescent particles that reflect an ultraviolet light source from the vehicle. So you can see the paint strip that is used to guide the vehicle. Then self-guided. So most popular method of AGV navigation operate without continuously defined pathways, use combination of dead reckoning, that is capability of the vehicle to follow a given route in the absence of defined pathway, and beacons located throughout the plant which can be identified by onboard sensors. Then next type of the material transport equipment is monorails and other rail guided vehicles. So monorails consist of motorized vehicles that are guided by a fixed rail system. The rail system consists of either one rail, that is called a monorail, or two parallel rails. Monorails in factories and warehouses are typically suspended overhead from the ceiling. In rail guided vehicle systems using parallel fixed rails, the tracks generally coming through the floor. Unlike AGVs operated on electric motor, rail guided vehicles operates on electric power from an electrified rail. Rail guided systems are generally considered to be more versatile than conveyor systems but less versatile than automated guided vehicle system. So this is the monorails and other rail guided vehicles. Next is conveyor systems. A conveyor is a mechanical apparatus for moving atoms or bulk materials usually inside the facility. Conveyors are used when material must be moved in relatively large quantities between specific locations over a fixed path. The path which may be in the floor, above the floor, or overhead. Conveyors are either powered or non-powered. So non-powered means material moved by human workers or by gravity, and powered means the power mechanism for transporting materials is contained in a fixed path using chains, belts, rollers, and other mechanical devices. The types of conveyors: first is roller conveyor, then stake wheel conveyor, then the belt conveyor, and in floor tow line conveyor. So roller conveyor. In roller conveyors, the pathway consists of a series of tubes or rollers that are perpendicular to the direction of travel. Loads must be possess Loads must possess a flat bottom surface of sufficient area to cover several adjacent rollers. The loads are moved forward as the roller rotates. Roller conveyors can either be powered or non-powered. Powered roller conveyors are driven by belts or chains. Non-powered roller conveyors are often driven by gravity by the downward slope of the pathway. Roller conveyors are used in a wide variety of applications, including manufacturing, assembly, packing, and distribution. Then second is skate wheel rollers conveyors. These are similar in operation to roller conveyors. Instead of rollers, they use skate wheels rotating on a shaft. These are lighter in weight than roller conveyors. Because of their light weight, skate wheel conveyors are sometimes built as portable units that can be used for loading and unloading truck trailers at shipping and receiving docks at factories and warehouses. Then belt conveyors, it consists of a continuous loop. Half of its length is used for delivering materials and the other half is return run. The belt is made of reinforced elastomers, that is rubber. At one end of conveyor there is a drive roll that powers the belt. The flexible belt is supported by a frame that has rollers on support using the forward rope. So generally two types of belts are used: the flat belts, that is used for the pallets, individual parts, or even certain type of bulk materials, and trough belt for bulk material placed on a belt surface to travel along the moving pathway. Then in floor tow line conveyor. So four-wheel carts powered by moving chains and cables in trenches in the floor. Carts use steel pins or grippers to protect below floor level and engage the chain or pulley for towing. This allows the carts to be disengaged from the tow line for loading and unloading. Then cranes and hoist. This is the fifth element of material transport system, cranes and hoist. So cranes are used for horizontal movement of material in a facility, and hoist are used for vertical lifting. A crane invariably includes a hoist. Thus, a hoist component of the crane lifts the load and the crane transport the load horizontally to the desired destination. A hoist. A hoist is a mechanical device used to raise and lower the loads. A hoist consists of one or more fixed pulleys, one or more moving pulleys, rope, cable, or chain between the pulleys. A hook or other means for attaching the load is connected to moving pulley. The driving force to operate the hoist is applied either manually or by electric or pneumatic motor. So this is a diagram of hoist. So that can be used to raise and lower the loads only. That is a vertical movement. You can see the another diagram of hoist. Then cranes. Cranes are designed for lifting and moving heavy loads using one or more overhead beams for support. Principal types of cranes in factories are: first is bridge crane and second is gantry crane. So there are so many types of cranes, but we will see what is bridge crane and the gantry crane. So gantry crane, this type of crane has one or two vertical legs that support the horizontal bridge. The double gantry crane has two legs. A half gantry crane has a single leg on one side of the bridge, and the other end of the bridge is supported by rail mounted on the wall or structural member. Then bridge crane. So you can see the diagram of the bridge crane. The bridge crane consists of one or two horizontal girders or beams suspended between fixed rails on either end, which are connected to the structure of the building. The hoist trolley can be moved along the length of the bridge, and the bridge can be moved along the length of the rails in the building. These two drives provides motion in the x-axis and y-axis of the building, and the hoist provides motion in a z-axis. At the top, the motions or the three axes that are shown x, y, z axis in a diagram, in the top of the diagram. The limitations of automated material handling systems. So the additional investment that is required, lack of flexibility, then additional maintenance staff and cost is required, cost of auxiliary equipment is required, and space and other requirements that are necessary. So this is regarding the material automated material transport system. Thank you.